Hi, dyslexic genius here, Brett Hurt. What I'm going to talk about is a Sonora Grand motor, and I'm telling you right now, you don't see these every day. These things are absolutely built like an old Caterpillar, really a music box. To give you an idea, this is a spring barrel out of a Sonora Grand, and it's been knurled here on the edge all the way around. And look at the gearing here that drives off the winding crank gear over here. You can see how massive this is and wonderfully machined this is. I love machine stuff. Well, how did they make this? Well, they built the base plate, locked it down in a milling machine, and then they cut all the teeth. Then they machined the inside and then built the barrel, and they mic this, and it kind of sets in with a slight tapered punch, it pushes in a little bit. Then they silver solder these, because I used to work on music boxes and I used to rebuild these things all the time. But to give you an idea, you've seen end plates, right? On regular phonographs. This one's over 1/16 of an inch thick.
It's huge.
It's absolutely huge.
And this spring barrel is so pretty.
And this one, solid brass. And the machining is just fabulous on these. On these, there's one left-hand screw. Most people won't know that, but that left-hand screw goes right here. And you put, oh no, he's taking that screw out. No, that screw goes in this way because it comes out clockwise. It's very interesting. And this screw fits into this gear through here, and everything tightens up. But you can see here, they went to the expense of cross-hatching all the gears on both sides just to give it a detail, like a pop in the gearing. The centerpiece on these, you can see here, somebody has been in here and put a pair of pliers on this. Oops.
Oh, that's nasty.
That's nasty. And how do you tell that somebody's been in is when you start taking phonographs apart, especially on a motor like this. They would have been pristine, assembled at the factory. And you can see how they boogered up the screws here. And then they boogered those up. Also, what's interesting on this, it has a cellulite gear in it. And this cellulite gear is held onto the center shaft right here. And there's ball bearings in the end of these. Don't want to lose that. And this gear goes on here. And this has a tapered pin. Remember, I've talked about tapered pins. This has a tapered pin in it. Very interesting. So on these, you have a motor board on all machines, and the motor mounts to the bottom of the motor board, but not on these. These mount in the phonograph, and the customer sent the rubber insulators right here. I mounted down. Everything pops up.
Wait, on the floor of the cabinet?
On the floor of the machine. This pops up, then the motor board sets in, and all you have is a spindle shaft coming up. Very beautiful machines. And they're a Payard. I love the castings here. We have the Payard emblem here. Oh, it's got an H, probably for a Hurt machine. I don't know. Probably later it'll be a Hurt machine. I love pointing these wonderful things out and how they look. Also, on the governor, they even painted the weights gold. Just so when you looked at the motor, it had this essence, kind of like a Rolls Royce. Everything's painted gold on the motor. Has all these little details that are just wonderful, like the bolts that bolt onto the top for this casting. You look at the machine work and the finish on the nuts, how they made these back in the day. I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable. And they're all nickel plated. This is beautiful machine work. You know, I love this hobby, and that's my tip for the day.